Hello and welcome to the X-Files Revisited, where we take a little look at each and every episode in the series. Today we're checking out Genderbender, episode 14 of season 1. Debuting on January 21st, 1994, Genderbender follows agents Mulder and Scully as they investigate a religious sect who become the prime suspects of a series of bizarre murders. Now before the rest of Twitter comes after me, let's begin. The episode starts in some rockin' 90s nightclub as we see some poor sap who just isn't a hit with the ladies. A random woman at the club creepily stares at him, and I love the H.R. Giger art on the wall behind her. Well, she walks over to the man, but he doesn't seem to be all that into her. That is, until she performs some erotic hand rubbing. That's apparently all it takes to win this guy over, and seconds later they're enjoying some more sensual hand rubbing together.
God, that was incredible. I mean it. Hey, I don't even know your name.
Well, our friend here learns real quick that you should probably get to know someone first before you rub hands, because I think his date had rabies. Then, like a post-coital tall man from Phantasm, the woman turns into a man. And to add insult to injury, the victim has his clothes stolen too.
Your clothes. Give them to me, now.
The following day, Mulder and Scully are investigating the crime scene. A detective gives Scully the details explaining the victim entered the room with a woman, but a different man left shortly after. All the while, Mulder is getting some samples off the dead body. Scully also seems rather puzzled that two people would hook up randomly.
It's hard to imagine this day and age someone having sex with a perfect stranger.
Meanwhile, these days you have people opening OnlyFans accounts so three weirdos can give them $2.99 a month to watch them humiliate themselves. Then the supposed dead body's eyes start to twitch.
The male exited wearing... I
saw that!
Scully then questions why they were given this case in the first place, but I think she should know by now this is Mulder's doing. While back at the office, Mulder informs her there have been 5 similar deaths. So all these victims have basically died to huge amounts of pheromones causing them to go into cardiac arrest. It's like a try not to get horny challenge where if you do, you die. Scully then questions the whole thing, saying there's still questions whether or not humans can produce pheromones.
Well, there's still a question as to whether humans can produce pheromones.
But if it's true, this guy's a walking aphrodisiac. He's the ultimate sex magnet.
He or she? You've got victims of both sexes.
Oh god, Mulder, please don't assume gender. You're gonna get us all cancelled. Mulder notes the killings appear to be moving south to a small community in Massachusetts, which is the home to a sect of very Amish-like religious folk called the Kindred. Now, how could Mulder possibly connect these killings to a small religious community?
The Kindred are known for their handmade stoneware pottery. They mine the clay themselves in the local hills. It's also the same substance I scraped out of the scratches on the latest victim's side.
They arrive at Steveston, Massachusetts, and enter a local store looking for info.
We're investigating a possible murder.
Well, there aren't many killings around here.
Mulder asks the shop owners about the Kindred, and they keep to themselves mostly. However, going through some old photos from the 1930s, one of them looks like Our Lady from the beginning. Mulder asks how he can get up to see them, and right on cue, they just so happen to scamper on by.
That's them now. They usually shop at the feed store.
The agents walk up to the Kindred, but they don't seem very talkative.
Ladies? I think I'm gonna go inside. You need anything from the feed store?
Scully tries making small talk with one of the men, and doesn't he have a whammy burger to run?
I want breakfast.
Yeah, well, hey, I'm really sorry.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm really sorry too.
Get a gun!
She reaches out her hand to shake his, and he looks at her like she's from another planet. But he changes his mind and takes hold of her hand, and then starts working his mojo with some sensual hand rubbing. Before any freakiness can occur, however, the other Kindred come out and break up their little party. Mulder comes out asking her if she's alright, and it's almost like she's just come out of some kind of hypnotic trance.
You alright?
Yeah, I think so.
You wanna sit down?
How to seduce women through hypnosis.
A short while later, the agents decide to take a drive up, but a stump impedes their way, so it's on foot from there. Scully should definitely take that map away though, because I question whether Mulder can actually read it.
That's west.
What does the map say?
That we should be there already.
Just then, the agents become surrounded by the Kindred. The Kindred say the agents are welcome, but their weapons are not, so the agents hand over their magazines but keep their guns.
As I walk through the valley where I harvest my grain, I take a look at my wife and realize she's very plain.
The agents are welcomed inside the home, but no one seems to care that this old man is just hacking up a lung.
We who are separate, give thanks for our allotted time in this world.
Scully and Brother Andrew look at one another, and what is with Mulder and Scully being into the ugliest people? The agents try asking questions pertaining to the murders, but the Kindred aren't exactly cooperative.
Your world does not interest us. We have no need for your violence or your questions.
One of the ladies doesn't take too kindly to his outburst, but before they can get any further, the old man falls over, unable to breathe. The Kindred, however, refuse any help from Scully as she's seen as an outsider.
We did not invite you here to interfere.
We take care of our own.
Hey, beautiful woman! We don't take kindly to your taps around here. Yeah, Skeeter, she ain't hurting nobody.
We're back at the nightclub, and it looks like our gender-swapping serial killer is back at it.
Look, I'm really not interested, okay?
Just one dance.
Mulder and Scully are escorted to the edge of the farm and are given lanterns to help them find their way back to their car. Mulder, however, thinks this whole thing to be a bunch of BS. He notes that there wasn't any children, and he swears he saw some of the people there in the old photos from earlier. So our agents decide to turn off the lanterns and head back to investigate further. The agents return to the farm and notice all the residents heading inside the barn chanting something. Mulder and Scully peer inside the barn, and I feel like this is what it would be like if the children of the corn grew up. They're both nearly spotted as the men appear to bring the body of the old man inside some kind of a cellar. Mulder, of course, cannot sit by without knowing what's in there.
What do you think?
I think I want to see what's in that cellar.
Mulder heads down inside the cellar while Scully keeps watch outside, but she's suddenly grabbed by Brother Andrew, who tells her he can give her information if she comes with him. And yeah, I'm sure it's information you want to give her. Mulder walks down the cellar that looks like a cave system of some sort, where he finds the men still chanting. Scully, meanwhile, is brought to Brother Andrew's bedroom of all places, where he tells her he knows who the killer is.
What's his name?
Brother Martin. I called him Marty.
Mulder watches from some kind of netting as the men start rubbing down the old man with some nasty looking goop. Meanwhile, Brother Andrew tells Scully he knows Marty poisoned his victims and he needs to show her something.
We found them out on Route 44.
Not quite what I was thinking he was going to show her, by the way. These magazines were so captivating to Marty, however, that he just had to become part of the outside world. Once again back with Mulder, who decides to touch some of that goop after the other men left, and I really thought he was going to taste it for a second. Mulder isn't alone for long, however, as he has people coming towards him from both in front and behind. So he dives inside a crevice, just narrowly being caught. But it looks like the men know Scully is back at the house, so they're heading back to find her. Mulder, however, finds he isn't alone as the old man's body is in there, looking a little more feminine than before. Back with Scully, who wants to know how Marty has been killing his victims, so I guess Andrew decides he's going to show her. He grabs her hand and starts to rub it, which really seems to be a turn-on for these people.
Oh no! 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 Oh, no! 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 She's not awake! No!
Thank the gods, however, Mulder comes in just in time before things can progress any further. Mulder and Scully exit the house where they are confronted by the Kindred. The agents leave, but not before Mulder can ask Scully what the hell she was doing.
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
You alright?
And don't worry, Scully, we've all thrown up at the thought of someone that's tried to get in our pants. We're back at the club again, and hey, this guy sure seems familiar.
You put me up here, man. I'm looking forward to see how you get me out.
Stupid ass haircut.
Well, it appears as Marty has taken his female form again, and is going to use his ancient power of hand-rubbing, which is like the Jedi mind trick of date rape. We're back with Mulder and Scully in their car, as Scully doesn't seem to have any memory of what happened.
It's like I don't remember
Why didn't she get out of there before he...
Because he told me he knew who the killer was.
She asks Mulder what he saw in the cellar, and he tells her about the old man, which he believes was becoming a woman.
I know what I saw, Scully, and I saw you about to do the wild thing with some stranger.
We're with Marty and not Krychek as their fun time is interrupted by a cop.
All right, let's break it up. Ow.
Female Marty gets out of the car and, is that the male Marty just standing against the wall there waiting for his scene? They couldn't have had the actor just stand off to the side a little bit more? Not Krychek starts writhing in pain from the super STD given to him by Marty as Marty knocks the cop out. He then looks out the window and notices his date is now a man. Not Krychek is in the hospital, and I think his assessment of his date is a bit harsh.
On a scale of 1 to 10, she was a kind 3.
Mulder and Scully try to pry some more information out of him, and it's all a bit awkward.
She looked like a man.
The agents leave questioning what really happened to him when they're informed the credit card from a previous victim had just been used in a hotel room downtown. We then see Marty back in female form, and I don't think they're exactly from these parts.
Your world offers pleasures. Pleasures we don't know because we're different.
Marty is killed again and knows he'll be punished by his own for what he has done. The agents arrive at the hotel and are just outside the room. They break inside, but Scully is hit in the head by Marty, who runs out of the room. Mulder gives chase, but is also knocked on his ass, where he watches Marty change right in front of him. Marty then soccer kicks Mulder in the face like he's Shogun Hua or something. Scully comes out of the room and Mulder motions to her that Marty ran down the stairs. Scully runs out into the alleyway looking for Marty, and he's not very good at hiding. He comes out from his hiding spot, probably wishing he had found some pants, when he's tackled by the Kindred. Brother Andrew makes his way towards Scully, and she really cannot resist his boyish good looks. But then he just clocks her when Mulder comes out to the alleyway after recovering from his ass beating. Then the Kindred just simply disappear. The following morning, the agents along with the police head to the farm, but it's like they all just up and vanished. Even the cellar has been encased in concrete. An officer comes in the barn to inform Mulder that they found something in the hayfield, however.
I don't understand. How can they just disappear? They have no means of transportation.
No earthly means of transportation.
So I guess they were aliens and just flew away? I mean, that's one way to end an episode, I guess. Gender Bender is an odd episode, to say the least. I don't even know what to say about it. I'm surprised it hasn't been slammed online with how insane people are these days. The episode is harmless and middle of the road. It is fun to see a pre-Krychek Nicholas Lee, though. And for the longest time, I thought the male Marty was the actor that played Spike on the Buffy TV show. Gender Bender currently has a 7.3 out of 10 on IMDb. Robert Shearman gave the episode 1.5 out of 4 stars in his book, Wanting to Believe. In it, he says, the sequences in which Marty picks up his victims are about as sexy as an omelet. When Scully gets seduced, she doesn't get turned on, she just gets sleepy. The episode began as an idea of wanting to add a more sexy element to the show. Writer Glenn Morgan stated, it was difficult to find a story that shows sex is scary. And because the staff found it so difficult, the episode's evolution kind of veered off to, what if there are people like the Amish who are from another planet? And you know, when I think sexy, the first thing that comes to my mind is always the Amish. The opening teaser originally included a shot where a character's crotch slowly rotted away, but was cut for obvious reasons. No way that would have made it to TV. Brent Hinckley played the role of Brother Andrew. He's one of those actors you've seen in a million things but know nothing about. He's had a bunch of small roles throughout his career, with one of his most memorable being that of the Seidler from Seinfeld.
Because they're turning your teeth green?
I only buy the white ones.
Okay, well then your teeth are green for a different reason.
Nicholas Lee makes his debut in the series here, but not as the fan favorite Krychek, just some random victim. We will be seeing a lot more of him come season 2, but it's always fun seeing where he gets his start with the series. Gender Bender is a strange but enjoyable episode with a rather weak ending. I still think it's worth a watch, and just bear in mind when it came out because I know there are a lot of people ready with their pitchforks. Check back next time as we take a look at another blast from our agent's past with Lazarus. Thank you for watching and stay spooky.
Its weapon is sex. Its desire is deadly.
He was going through some kind of a transformation.
Changing sexes?
This week, the ultimate sex killer.
Think he was trying to kill me?
I don't know.
Stalks Agent Scully.
Step away!
The X-Files. This week on Fox.